Hi guys, in this video I will talk about the population control in your cities across your empire in Europa Barbarorum 2. As your empire is expanding, your new cities are getting further and further from your starting homeland. The culture of those cities is usually much more different from the culture of your faction. If you plan to keep the city you have conquered, you will definitely exterminate the population within that city to prevent rebellions. Usually, you will install the client ruler, as this is the fastest way to gain public order bonuses, but that is a topic for another video. The city will slowly recover from your first massacre, and the population will start to grow steadily. A part of that population growth will include the growth of your faction culture, but there was some domestic culture population left in the city even after your massacre. Unfortunately, that means that there will be cultural unrest, as the domestic population will not be satisfied with the cultural changes. To maintain public order, you will have to recruit more and more troops. But as I mentioned in my previous videos, the army recruitment and the upkeep is much more expensive here in Europa Barbarorum 2 than it is in the vanilla edition. Furthermore, it is not financially sustainable to have cities packed with armies. You want your armies to go and conquer new lands and expand your empire, not to stay inside the city walls. After some time, you will have to reduce the population in these cities. It is best to do this in a controllable way than to wait for the city to rebel suddenly. I will now show you how I use this tactic. First, find some generals and position them near the targeted city. Then leave only one unit in the city and merge other units with the generals. Second, destroy the client state building and set the tax rate to the maximum. There will be no public order bonuses from the destroyed building, and the highest tax rate will provoke them additionally. You can see that the public order is 0%. After one turn, I got this notification about rioting in this city, and as you can see, they are quite angry. In the next turn, they will rebel against me. I will now do the same thing with the closest city of Maracanda to provoke them too. I will leave only one unit in the city and merge the other units with this general over here. Then I will destroy this building over here for the client state, and I will set the taxes to the maximum. You can see that the public order is 0%. In this way, I will have two armies that will attack this city over here, and that will raise my army ratio and lower the casualties. As you can see, this city rebelled against me and I will attack it. But before that, I strongly advise that you place a spy near the rebel city so you can see the strength of the army inside. In this way, you will know do you need additional units for a successful attack. If needed, fill the ranks by hiring available mercenaries. Now attack the city with your two armies. While you're waiting for the siege equipment for the assault, the city of Maracanda will raise the rebellion. Now I will attack the city with all nearby units. You can see that the army ratio is pretty much in my favor, and this city will be an easy target for my armies. After the successful attack with 2 armies, you will exterminate the city again. But this time the population of the exterminated city will have a much more percentage of your culture than they had after the first extermination. When the city starts to grow again, your culture will spread much faster. This means you will need fewer units to maintain the same public order, and you are slowly changing the city culture to yours. Remember that the city of Maracanda will also rebel against you. Move your armies to prepare for the upcoming attack. Now I have enough moving points, and I will attack the city of Maracanda with my armies. At the same time, I will provoke this city over here and repeat the process. So I will leave only 1 unit in the city, destroy this building, and set the taxes to maximum. Now I will attack the city of Maracanda, and as you can see, the army ratio is again in my favor. After another successful attack, you will exterminate the city again. You have provoked this city over here, so you will move your armies over there to prepare for the upcoming attack. I will now repeat the process. So I will attack this city. I will also use this army which was in the city to attack the now rebel city. And I will use spy so I can see which units are inside the city. If you want, you can provoke another cities, and in that way you will create controllable rebellions which will be immediately and easily put to the sword with your concentrated attacks. This will stabilize your cities in the long run. After each city is retaken, you will need fewer units to maintain the same public order, as there will be less population. This means you will use excessive units for the same operation in the nearby cities. Do this as much as possible, as you want to lower the cost of this operation. After some time, the generals and the army involved in the process will gain considerable experience. Thus, you can continue this operation as long as there are troubled cities within your empire. But there are 2 things you should be aware of to prevent serious problems with this kind of operation. First, provoking the starting capitals like this Bactra can trigger faction re-emerging. If you are not prepared for this, your poor quality units will be an easy target for the elite enemy troops. I have explained this topic in my previous video, Faction Uprising. Second, only perform this action if your borders are secured and you have enough gold. There is a chance that you will need to hire mercenaries to retake the rebel cities. But if you are at the same time in a full-scale attack of another faction, you are in danger of losing a lot of money. As I mentioned before, army recruitment and upkeep are very expensive in Europa Barbarorum too, so it is not wise to perform this action while fighting on multiple fronts. The population control of your cities can also be done without fighting at all. For example, these cities on Arabian Peninsula are quite isolated. There are no quality troops available for recruitment in these cities. Also, I don't want to risk faction remerging here. That would take me a lot of money and time to perform here. But at some point, I noticed that this city was having a plague. When the city is having a plague, it loses around 10% of the population per turn. So, I just used that in my favor and deliberately infected the surrounding cities. But you must be patient. When the first city is infected, move one unit to the second city. When the plague is finished in the first city, move one unit from the second city to the third city. Do not allow more than 2 neighboring cities to be closed because of the disease, as it can impact your economy. Also, move your generals from the infected cities to avoid their death. And now you can use this operation to put your empire in order. If you have any questions regarding this video, feel free to leave a message in the comment section. Thank you for watching this video.